Despite parents' best efforts to keep children safe, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration findings show parents often make significant mistakes when installing and using car and booster seats. As part of National Child Passenger Safety Week, September 14th through the 18th, FCA US invited employees to a Child Passenger Safety Seat Awareness event in its Auburn Hills headquarters, where they learned firsthand how to correctly install and use child safety seats.
Well, rear-facing child restraints have a unique extra thing that you have to be aware of, and that's the angle of the recline for the child. So the child should be reclined somewhere between 30 and 45 degrees from vertical. That's so that a young child's head doesn't fall forward when they go to sleep and helps them breathe comfortably as they're being transported. Every rear-facing car seat has either an indicator line that you level to ground, or some will have a bubble indicator or some other little feature on the seat that will tell you when you have the seat correctly reclined. The harness should always be adjusted so that it is at or below the child's shoulder. In a frontal crash, the child is going to move up in the harness, and the harness, if it's below their shoulders, will hold them down snug in the seat. Another very common mistake parents make is you're in a hurry, you put the baby in, buckle the harness over them, and you forget that step of snugging it. And parents will ask me, well, when is it tight enough? It's tight enough when you cannot, with your fingers, pinch any material of the harness strap. It should be lying flat against the child, not twisted up. Harnesses do get twisted over time. And then the last part is that chest clip. It shouldn't be down on the child's belly. It should be at the armpit level to be properly positioned. There's a type of car seat called a convertible car seat. And you can use it first rear facing, and then as the child grows, you turn it around to face the front of the vehicle. And those car seats will have two separate paths for the seat belt to go through. A common mistake is that people will use the wrong belt path when they install it, either rearward or forward facing. And in that case, it isn't going to be held in the vehicle properly, and in a crash, it could come loose and the child could be injured. Correct forward-facing installation is very similar to rearward facing, but now it changes because the crash dynamics change. Instead of when you're rear facing having the child cushioned by the shell of the car seat, now it's the harness that restrains the child in a forward crash. You want now the shoulder straps to be at or above the child's shoulders, because that will be snug on the child, and in a crash that harness will restrain them with the bony parts of their body, their shoulders and their hips. This young lady is a typical 6-year-old, and she's much too small to use the adult seatbelt. She should be using a booster seat in order to have the seatbelt fit her properly. In this case, her legs are not long enough that she can sit all the way back in the seat and bend her knees over the front. So what a child does is they move forward so that they can bend their knees and be comfortable. And that moves the lap belt up onto their abdomen instead of being on the lap. It also makes the shoulder belt very uncomfortable. If she tried to wear this the way it's supposed to, it's going to be on her neck. So what children will do in order to make it more comfortable is they'll either put it underneath their arm, which now puts the belt over their ribs and their soft abdomen, or even worse, they'll put it behind their back, because it's just too uncomfortable to wear. There are a couple of websites that I recommend parents visit to get more answers to their questions about car seats and their use. One is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website called Parent Central, and the other is Safe Kids USA. Both have lots of good information and will help you address those questions that your children and you have.